Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Artem. I am a CPA here at Torrent Accounting. Welcome to Tax Time. Today, we're going to be discussing a very important subject: outsourced accounting versus having an in-house accounting department or a bookkeeper, and what that looks like specifically for construction companies. Most builders don't have a revenue problem. They have a numbers problem. Why is clean bookkeeping so important for construction companies and builders? There's a lot of reasons for it. It's important for any line of business. Specifically for construction and for builders, the accounting has a lot of complexities that typical businesses do not face. And those include job costing, change orders, subcontractor payments, retainage. Do you guys love retainage? Where's your retainage sitting at? Is anybody reconciling? And payroll. Work in progress schedules are required a lot of times by lenders and by bonding companies, and those are impossible to produce without clean books. Cash flow, as you guys know, is lumpy. You know you're working on projects for months on end before you get paid. Sometimes maybe it's years on end. And without job level P&Ls, it's really impossible to start figuring out which job is profitable, what you did wrong on the last one when you bid it, and how to change that in the future. And bad books equal bad bids. So if you don't know your true labor cost for a project, if you don't know your overhead, your material costs, you'll keep winning the wrong jobs. And maybe the jobs you're winning aren't the most profitable jobs out there, and you have to work on restructuring them. And so hiring somebody in-house, it sounds simple until you add payroll, training, benefits, software, office space. And so the realistic question is, can you get away with outsourcing all of your accounting? And I think at the end of the day, that's a tall order. You need somebody in-house, and that can be an office manager. Maybe you have an accounts receivable person, but someone's got to do the billing. And we do believe in-house billing on your end, where you invoice your clients for the money you're receiving, is done best in-house. That's the lower friction piece of it. And you need somebody managing the day-to-day and answering the phones and getting back to clients, right? But having an in-house accounting department does get really expensive. And a true cost, even if you have an entry-level bookkeeper that's making $60,000 a year, by the time you add in all the payroll benefits, the Social Security taxes, the Medicare taxes, the self-employment taxes that you're paying on top of it, PTO, software licenses, you're probably looking at about $80,000. You're also dealing with turnover risk. You're dealing with also just having one person that has one skill set. And what happens if that person turns over? Do you really want to be training a new accountant or a new bookkeeper on all of your system? So outsourced construction accounting typically runs, it depends on the level of scope, but somewhere between $2,500 to $6,000 a month on what that costs and what they're actually doing for you. And probably the best news of it is you never have to train another person again. And outsourced accounting can scale with your business. So you're not looking to backfill accountants, which are in incredible short supply pretty much everywhere across every industry. But to get a specialized construction accountant in-house is a tall order. And anyone that does outsourced accounting on top of software and construction-specific tools, which ideally at the end of the day makes your life easier. If you do have an in-house bookkeeper, their job should not just be entering receipts. They should be helping you understand the health of your job, every job. So what should a construction company expect from a good outsourced bookkeeping team? And that would include monthly closes delivered by the 15th at the latest every month. Not 60 days late. You should be getting your financials as soon as the month is closed, plus 15 days. Job costing by project. You should know which ones are profitable, which ones are not. Your WIP schedule, which is a work in process schedule, so you know where the constructions are, you know how the bid is going, you know if you're over or under. Your accounts receivable aging. Are people not paying you and you don't even know it? You should be reviewing your accounts receivable schedule on a monthly basis at a minimum. And construction software fluency becomes really important. If you're just relying on QuickBooks, you're missing out. There's a lot of construction specific softwares which will make your life a lot easier. If your books are always behind, your decisions are always behind. So what are the warning signs that we tell builders it's time to start outsourcing their bookkeeping? If your books are more than 60 days late and you have an internal team. And if I ask you right now, can you go produce an accurate P&L? And your answer is no, you should start considering why that is and whether you should outsource your accounting. The owner, the project manager, or office manager is only doing data entry. As I mentioned, You will need some data entry on the back end, and that does need to be handled in-house. You do want good records. Record keeping is crucial, right? So you do want copies of all your receipts, all of your invoices. You want your contracts saved, your LLC records book. Everything that should be in your LLC records book should be managed internally. And as I mentioned, you do want to have somebody on the inside doing all this stuff, including accounts receivable, probably the best use of their time. But if you have a full in-house accounting department, then they should not just be doing data entry. They should be managing your job projects. They should be performing WIP reports and looking at your accounts receivable with you. And you should today be able to pull up a P&L and have it be accurate year to date. Because you don't know which jobs make you money until the months are over, way after the job is done. And then if you're feeling like every year tax season is a scramble, and as an owner and you have accounting staff, you have to get involved in getting all the information, things can be a lot smoother. And again, we mentioned every time you hire an internal person that you have to manage, that's a sunk cost. Like that's a lot of your time you'll never get back. And if you keep having accounting staff turnover, it might be easier to just outsource your accounting. So at the end of the day, can you outsource 100% of your office function to an outsourced accountant? The answer is no. But can outsourced accounting significantly reduce your overall burden of hours you spend on stuff that doesn't make you any money? The answer is yes. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.